Naima ran to where they had thrown the pouch, but to her horror, the water had spilled out, soaking to the ground. She collapsed in tears, her sobs echoing in grief as she had heard at the falls. Realizing she could not return to the falls without something to offer the keeper, Naima despaired. She had failed her love, the man who had risked everything for her. With all hope gone, Naima resolved to beg the chief to spare Faroukhan's life, offering all her wealth in exchange. Determined, she embarked on the arduous journey back to Kijiji, which would take her a day and a half. Meanwhile, in Kijiji, the chief set his malevolent plan in motion to publicly disgrace and execute Faroukhan. He summoned the villagers to the square, announcing, "Faroukhan has been captured with another woman. He stole my money and fled with his lover, shattering Naima's heart. Now she is gravely ill, bedridden with sorrow." The chief decreed that Faroukhan should be executed for his supposed theft and infidelity. The guards were ordered to bring Faroukhan, who was too weak to walk and thus dragged to the square. "Faroukhan has been cursed by his ancestors for his sins, stripping him of his strength," proclaimed the chief. The villagers, swayed by his words, began to cry out for Faroukhan's execution. "Whip him to death," they shouted. At the chief's command, Faroukhan was tied up and brutally whipped. He collapsed and a heart-wrenching scream pierced the air. It was Naima, now appearing old and frail, unrecognizable to those around her. She ran to Faroukhan's side, tears streaming down her face as she knelt by him. The chief, bewildered, asked, "Who is this woman? Her voice resembles Naima, but she looks nothing like her." Naima, her voice choked with sobs, apologized to Faroukhan for failing to save him. Faroukhan, barely able to speak, smiled faintly and whispered, "I know you tried your best." Naima's cries grew louder as she began to sing, her tears falling onto Faroukhan's face and into his mouth. Miraculously, Faroukhan's strength began to return as he drank her tears. The chief, seeing Faroukhan's tear, shouted for the guards to separate them and continue the whipping. As the guards grabbed Naima, Faroukhan mustered his renewed strength, flinging a guard away. The crowd gasped in astonishment. Faroukhan, now fully revived, fought off the remaining guards and stood tall, his eyes blazing with anger. Faroukhan confronted the chief, his voice echoing in righteous fury. "Chief, you have inflicted pain and suffering on many. You have betrayed your people. Today, justice will be served." Naima, despite her frail appearance, stood resolutely by Faroukhan's side, her presence a testament to their unbreakable bond. Elder Bwana, his voice steady and authoritative, stepped forward. "People of Kijiji, listen. The chief has deceived us all. He used the smoke from Nkoko leaves to weaken Faroukhan and orchestrated this treachery to keep Naima's wealth for himself." The chief, desperate to salvage his crumbling authority, sneered at Elder Bwana. "These are baseless accusations. You have no proof of such a scheme." But Elder Bwana, prepared for this moment, called out to the crowd, "Let the truth be revealed. Bring forth the man who fetched Nkoko leaves." A man, with his face pale with fear, was brought before the villagers. Trembling, he confessed, "It is true. The chief sent me and others to the rainforest to gather the Nkoko leaves. We were told it was for a special ceremony, but I overheard the chief's real intention. He wanted to weaken Faroukhan and ensure his downfall." The villagers gasped in shock, their eyes turning to the chief with growing anger. The chief's face twisted in fury, but before he could speak, Naima, still weak but filled with determination, stepped forward. "I overheard him boasting to his friends," Naima declared, her voice clear despite her exertion. "He laughed about how easy it would be to take everything from Faroukhan and me, how he would rule with all my wealth in his hands. The crowd erupted, their anger boiling over as the full extent of Chief's treachery became clear. Faroukhan stepped forward, his voice filled with righteous anger. "Chief, you have caused pain and suffering to many. You have betrayed the trust of your people. Today, we demand justice." The villagers, their anger and frustration mounting, began to shout, "Justice for Faroukhan! Justice for Faroukhan!" Realizing his power was slipping away, the chief fell to his knees, pleading, "Please forgive me. I was blinded by greed." But the villagers were relentless. They seized the chief and dragged him to the village square, where he was stripped of his title and exiled from Kijiji. A new leader was chosen by the people, wise and fair, who promised to rule with compassion and integrity. As the celebration of the chief's downfall continued, a luminous figure appeared before Naima and Faroukhan. It was Lyra, her presence radiating with warmth and kindness. "Naima, Faroukhan," Lyra said, her voice gentle and soothing, "you have shown great courage and love. For your unwavering dedication to each other, I will restore what you have lost." With a wave of her hand, Lyra restored Naima's beauty and youth. Naima's frail appearance transformed, and she stood radiant and strong once more. Faroukhan felt a renewed strength within him, a deeper connection to Naima. Naima's voice, trembling with a mix of awe and curiosity, asked, "Mother Lyra, why were my tears able to restore Faroukhan's strength?" Lyra smiled gently, her eyes filled with wisdom. "Your tears, Naima, were born of a deep, selfless love and profound sorrow. The pain you felt in your heart was as powerful as the pain Aqua shared when she cried for her son. The purity of your love and the depth of your anguish made your tears as potent as Aqua's." Naima looked at Faroukhan, her eyes shimmering with tears. "So the pain I felt for losing Faroukhan, the sacrifice I made, was equivalent to the sacrifice Aqua made for a child?" "Yes," Lyra replied. "Aqua's tears are a symbol of the ultimate sacrifice a mother makes for a child. Your tears mirrored that sacrifice, filled with the same purity and strength. That is why they held the power to restore Faroukhan." Faroukhan took Naima's hands, his eyes reflecting gratitude and love. "Naima, your love saved me. I am eternally grateful." Lyra smiled warmly at the couple. "Your love and sacrifice have touched the heart of the spirits. Live your lives with the same courage and love you have shown today." Naima and Faroukhan, now revered and respected by the villagers, lived happily together. The village of Kijiji thrived under its new leadership, and the story of Naima and Faroukhan became a legend of love, sacrifice, and justice. And so, my audience, the tale of Naima and Faroukhan reaches its conclusion. A story of love tested by deceit and treachery, but ultimately triumphant. If you enjoyed this story and would like to watch more stories and tales on romance, please let me know in the comment section. As always, I will see you in the next video. Until then, be kind and stay blessed.